This fuels the American myth that you never give up on your dreams and that you always stick with it no matter what, which is bull.
The day of the draft, that Thursday of the NFL draft, it was reported that he was trying out, that he was getting a look from Urban Meyer. And then Aaron Rodgers' news came out shortly thereafter and completely put all of that craziness to the side. Well, it's returned because the reports are that he is going to sign a contract within the next week and make it official, a one-year deal where he's going to be a tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars and head coach Urban Meyer. Tebow is back after not playing in the league since 2012. Doug Flutie did this. He went to the CFL for 8 years and then came back to the NFL. But we've never seen anything quite like what Tebow's about to attempt. And it's crazy to consider that, you know, he's actually getting an opportunity like this.
It's totally different from Flutie because Flutie was playing football the whole time. So stepping away from it, coming back into it, different. I'll say this. I don't like this story. And I don't necessarily like the Tim Tebow story, but this is not really Tim Tebow's fault. My dislike of the Tim Tebow story goes back to Urban Meyer at Florida housing some criminals on his team and everything being covered up and whitewashed because Tim Tebow's such a great guy. And I legitimately believe Tim Tebow is a great person. I don't think it's fake at all. I don't think anything he does is fake. I have no personal issue with Tim Tebow. But I have an issue with this story because Tim Tebow, I don't feel like is someone who should be getting the play that he gets from a broad standpoint. So again, it's weird for me to talk about it because I don't have any personal issue with Tim Tebow. I find the guy to be completely genuine in his convictions and what he talks about. I'll also say this. I know Paul's has an even stronger opinion on it than I do. I think this is a red flag for Urban Meyer's understanding of professional football.
Absolutely.
That he's doing this. And I only say that based on the tweet from Judy Batista, who's a columnist with NFL.com, who said that Urban Meyer is doing this because the culture in Jacksonville is bad and that Tim Tebow is going to come in and help the culture in Jacksonville. I don't think professional football players want to hear Tim Tebow stand up on a chair and give them a pep talk. I think they're going to find it silly when that happens and not some unifying moment that's going to bring the Jacksonville organization together. So I think more than anything, this isn't necessarily Tim Tebow's fault. It's Urban Meyer's fault if he legitimately believes Tim Tebow is going to come in and change the culture by giving some pep talks to the team.
You don't fix an NFL culture with a fifth-string tight end who's never played the position before, who's been out of the league for 8 years, and who was bad at his position when he was in the league. So that's ridiculous. What the Jaguars are doing here is cracking the fundamental principle of the NFL and of professional sports, which is that it's a meritocracy and that you get in and you stay in, and we don't know if he's going to stay in. I would think that he doesn't make it. But you get in based on being good enough. And I find it hard to believe that a guy who the one highlight we've seen of him running a route is that the ball hits him in the head because he doesn't get his head turned around and his hands up on a ball thrown, I think, by Mark Sanchez. But here is the depressing thing to me about Tim Tebow. This fuels the American myth that you never give up on your dreams and that you always stick with it no matter what, which is bull. You have to give up at some point in time. This is nonsense that you always stick with it. You have to have a plan B and a plan C because sometimes your dream is out of reach and it just doesn't work. And that's part of the American reality that goes with the American dream, right? I wanted to be a novelist when I was a kid. You know what happened? I figured out that I didn't have plots. And so I wanted to be a writer, and I swerved and discovered, nonfiction provides the plots for you. If you go and cover stuff as a reporter, there are daily plots there. And I can be a writer, but I can't be a novelist. And that's an adjustment I made along the way. And Tim Tebow is not making the adjustment because the Jaguars and the Mets didn't force him to make the adjustment. He's not a baseball player, and the Mets facilitated him being a baseball player for what, 6 or 7 years? And he hasn't been a football player in 8 years, and the Jaguars are facilitating it, which isn't his fault. It's the fault of the Mets and the Jaguars. But all over Twitter today, people are saying, don't give up on your dreams. Just keep going for it. Because look at Tim Tebow. It's working for him. As if Tim Tebow is the rule about sticking with what you believe in, even when it's ridiculous. And he's not the rule. There are thousands of people out there who need to change course, who are taking heart because Urban Meyer's doing something stupid.
But it's also ridiculous that you act as though he doesn't have a plan B or plan C when the guy juggles SEC network and motivational and church circuits on a weekly and daily basis while he's playing for the Mets and while he'll be on the roster for the Jacksonville Jaguars. You may be only able to handle one thing at a time professionally. This guy behind the scenes has a team of people around him with all of these different branches on the tree where he's involved in all these different things. So to act as though he doesn't have a plan B or plan C when he's been doing that for years is foolish of you to say. Well, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified every time Outkick 360 goes live. We are live weekdays, 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern, right here across the Outkick network. And while you're at it, like this video and let us know what you think in the comments below.